Everyone likes to imagine they could take on a professional athlete in their prime. But what happens when the average Joe steps into the ring with a true champion?
Get ready to rumble!
That's the dilemma Homer Simpson faces when he has to go up against Mike Tyson.
Don't worry, you'll get your 3 rounds.
Stupendous!
Who's more than ready to teach Homer a painful lesson about what real boxing is all about.
They do it blackened or sauteed. It's stupendous.
The Simpsons family are all dressed up in their best Western cowboy clothing as their couch gallops away into the sunset. The story begins with the Simpsons family head over to the mall where they see a sad reunion for a long-forgotten show known as The Bonanza. The 2 actors up on stage are dressed as Native Americans, which is definitely not racist at all. And they try to recall all the good memories, but it's clear the crowd is far too young to even understand what is going on.
Weren't there 3 Indians last year?
The Simpsons move on, and Homer finds a high-tech store that he is excited to check out. The place is full of pseudo-tech products, which sound fancy, but are pretty useless. But Homer does not care. He finds the world's best jacket in a tech store and is dying to get it, so that people can finally respect him.
If I had this, it would show everybody! Show everybody.
In the same store, the comic book guy wants to return an item known as the Ultimate Belt. He won the thing at a Star Trek convention, but it is utterly useless because giving Trekkies a medium-sized belt is like giving a whale a tutu. Even the store employee knows that the belt is completely wasted on the man, and he adds further insult to injury.
Ooh, fat sarcastic Star Trek fan. You must be a devil with the ladies.
Comic book guy does not have a good comeback for this insult, and the belt cannot be returned either. Luckily, Bart was there to witness the entire embarrassing exchange, and he offers $4 for the weird belt. The comic book guy accepts, because there is only so much he can take in one day. The following day, Bart shows off his new belt to all of his classmates. The belt comes with a variety of features, which Bart excitedly lists down. The thing even has turn signals.
It's even got turn signals.
But Bart's loudmouth gets him in trouble with the bullies, and it seems like the gangly group of teenagers want Bart's belt. The bullies jump on Bart, but the sneaky boy evades the attack and runs for his life. He uses the turn signals on his belt to confuse them, but Bart ends up getting cornered. Bart tries to use the belt's safety features, but he might as well just offer his face to the bullies himself.
Reed, call the police!
Later on, Bart returns home with severe bruising on his face. Homer stops Bart, but not because of his son's beaten-up face. Homer actually notices that the belt is gone and wants to know what happened.
Looking good, son. Hey! What happened to your belt?
Bart explains his situation to his father, another fruitless endeavor. And Homer tells his son that the only way to fix the situation is by complaining about the bullies. Bart does not think that's a good idea. But Homer decides to speak to the parents of the bullies on Bart's behalf, only to get a good beating of his own.
That's for telling me how to raise my lousy kid.
Homer tries his best to speak to the troubled dads, but he only gets more beaten up. However, their punches do nothing to Homer, and he remains standing firm. Eventually, Moe has to pull out his gun, the only language bullies understand, and he kicks out the miscreants for hurting Homer.
If you're gonna beat up my friend in my bar, it's a 2-drink minimum.
Moe is impressed that Homer was able to withstand the punches for so long without getting knocked down, but Homer just thinks he's a loser dad who couldn't even help out his son, which is true.
A loser like me is good for is taking beatings.
There you go, that's the spirit.
Moe truly believes that Homer should get into boxing, and the prospect of eating whatever he wants really intrigues Homer as well. After little convincing, Homer is all in to join the world of boxing. Moe then takes Homer to his secret office in the ladies' bathroom, a place which will never see use for the entire length of the show.
Yeah, well, when I realized we hadn't had no ladies in here since 1979, I turned it into an office.
This is the place where Moe keeps all of his boxing stuff. It turns out that Moe once used to be a boxer with great potential. Homer is even surprised to learn that Moe worked with Lucius Sweet, a big promoter in the world of boxing. But Moe had his rise and fall in boxing. In fact, it was actually just a fall, and he quit after not winning a single match.
Because I got knocked out 40 times in a row. That plus politics. You know, it's all politics.
Lousy Democrats.
Later on, Homer shares his new hyperfixation with his family, and of course, Marge is completely against the entire thing. She wants Homer to see a legitimate doctor to make sure that his body is ready for real exercise. The couple consult a doctor, and after a quick checkup, It is determined that Homer is multifaceted abnormal. He has a specific condition known as the Homer Simpson syndrome.
Unique genetic condition known as Homer Simpson syndrome. Oh, why me?
This syndrome basically means that Homer's brain is naturally protected by a thick fluid, thus making Homer almost invincible. After the positive checkup, Homer starts his training with Moe, but after throwing just one punch, Moe realizes that Homer will need to use a different approach inside the ring.
Just a second.
When you're ready.
All right. Ready. Wait a minute.
Moe tells Homer to let his opponent throw punches, and once the opponent gets exhausted, all Homer has to do is push over his opponent and win. This new lazy tactic motivates Homer to never actually train. And then finally, the time for the first match arrives. The match takes place inside of Moe's bar.
You'd never get me into a ring. Boxing causes brain damage.
And Homer's first opponent is a man called Boxcar Bob. Before the match, Moe gives own boxing gloves to Homer, but they are far too illegal to use in a real boxing match.
We called that the stinger. They don't let you use that no more.
The match finally begins, and Homer's opponent is just some homeless guy. The hobo goes in for the punches, but Homer just takes them all. Even Bart is happy to see his father not be a pathetic loser for once.
Way to go, Dad! Take those punches!
The hobo continues his assault and eventually grows tired. Moe tells Homer to push the guy with a slight nudge, and with next to no effort, Homer wins the match. This signals the beginning of Homer's low-effort boxing career, where he fights people by letting them tire out and slowly rises up in the ranks. Homer's matches rake in a lot of easy money for Moe, and finally, Homer reaches the top spot. One day, while sitting in his toilet office, Lucius shows up to meet with Moe. Moe is surprised to see his old mentor, and he learns that Lucius is currently working with Drederick Tatum, a famous boxer. And if it looks very similar to someone real, it's pure coincidence, obviously. Lucius is working on Drederick's comeback fight, since the champion is about to be released from prison soon. But Lucius needs a good contender for the fight, and he is looking towards old Homer.
Word is you manage a stalwart young pugilist who cannot be knocked down.
Moe is surprised to learn that Lucius has eyes on Homer, but the promoter explains that he needs someone strong enough to withstand Drederick's punches for 3 rounds. This way, he can really make a spectacle out of the show. But Moe is not convinced. After all, Homer is not a professional. He's just some guy with an odd-shaped skull.
Homer's no boxer. He's just a freak. Tatum will fustigate him.
Lucius is a greedy bastard who's willing to take the risk. He manipulates Moe to accept the offer. Later on, Moe explains the situation to Homer, but does not provide the details. Homer happily accepts the offer, but he thinks he's beating another homeless guy and not a true heavyweight champion who has tigers as pets.
Hey guys, come on, shut up.
Sorry, champ. It was Jerry.
Drederick holds a conference inside the prison, and he shows half-hearted remorse for pushing his mother down a flight of stairs.
If I could turn back the clock on my mother's stair pushing, I would certainly reconsider it.
Drederick is also excited for his match with Homer, although he plans on not letting the guy leave the ring alive. Meanwhile, Marge is shocked to hear about Homer's upcoming fight with a real fighter, not like Jake Paul's fights. She is convinced that Homer is going to get killed, and even Lisa is not happy about the odds she has been reading about in the newspaper.
Against you winning are 1,000 to 1.
Well, I don't think it's that unlikely.
Those are the odds they're given in Vegas.
Homer is tired of his family's unsupportive behavior and shuts all of them down. Tatum versus Simpson is now the talk of the town, and the day of the big match finally arrives. While Homer prepares, Moe nervously paces back and forth, and when Marge tells him to keep Homer safe, Moe decides to switch up his attitude and blame everything on Marge instead.
I'm not the villain here, okay? If Homer gets killed in the ring tonight, it'll be because of your negative attitude. There, I said it.
But Marge is not ready to become a widow, and she tells Moe to throw in the towel if the fight gets too dangerous. Moe decides to literally throw the towel in the bin because he has tasted easy money and there is going back from that. Meanwhile, the announcer begins introducing all of the famous personalities who have gathered to witness the fight before the match begins.
And featured player in the Hollywood prostitution scandal, Renier.
Moe tells Homer to visualize his win. But this only prompts Homer to imagine a fight in which he wins by Tatum dying of a heart disease. Moe forgot Homer needs more instructions.
Congenital heart defect has apparently felled Tatum moments before he could step into the ring.
Tatum is then finally introduced onto the ring by the announcer, and he arrives with his entire posse. Mike Tyson, Drederick, is clearly ready to win no matter what. The announcer then calls on Homer and his makeshift entourage, who looks like they could be blown away by a soft wind. Lucius is not sure that Homer is going to last for 3 rounds, and he makes sure to let Moe about the uncertainty of his future if Homer fails.
Yeah, don't worry, you'll get your 3 rounds.
Stupendous.
The fight finally begins with a great applause and suspense.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Tatum and Homer take the stage, and within 5 seconds, Homer receives a pretty hard punch.
Worried about just...
It's clear that Homer won't be surviving for too long. Even Moe is worried since it's been 6 seconds, and it's not looking good for Homer. Marge decides to step in and tells Homer to hit Mike Tatum back. Somehow, even with his brain knocked out, Homer understands Marge's words, even though he thinks a cactus is speaking to him.
That cactus is right. I've only got 1 chance.
Homer goes in for a punch but fails to get his moment as he completely misses. Tatum hits Homer again, and it's clear that he will get killed. Even the crowd is agitated and wants Homer dead.
Stop the fight! Where's the doctor?
Kill him! Kill him!
Tatum moves in for the final punch, and everyone watches with bated breath. But at the last moment, Moe flies in and saves Homer from fatality, as the announcer and spectators show their disapproval of this interference. Moe flies away with Homer.
Whatever dignity remained in boxing is literally flying out the window.
Homer thinks Moe is an angel who has come to save him. Moe does not correct his friend, but takes the credit for the help, especially since he is the one who almost got him killed in front of his family and thousands of other people.
Only thing that matters to me is you're safe.
Moe and Homer land outside of the arena, and it seems like things have settled. Tatum admires Homer for having a manager who would support him, and Lucius berates Moe for being a useless leech who couldn't keep up his end of the deal. Moe gets some money out of the deal, but his dignity is irreparable.
$100,000 and get out of my sight.
I don't need your stinking money.
Homer reunites with his family, but his brain is still pretty out of it. Marge thanks Moe for saving her train wreck of a husband. But Moe isn't fishing for compliments. He did his duty, and now he simply decides to fly away. And then we see Moe becoming a literal hero, saving the day of many people around the globe. Very funny episode, with many celebrities, just like the time Homer went to a Diddy's white party. If you want to see what happens, click on this video next, but not before you subscribe and like the video.